just when you thought it was safe to have a step-parent. The Stepfather, that came out in 1987, starring Terry O'Quinn, Shelley Hack, Jill Schoelen, and Stephen Shellen. The film is loosely inspired off the murders of John List, who in 1971 murdered his entire family and managed to evade capture for 18 years. Until an episode of America's Most Wanted that shows a sculptor who makes a plastic of John List and what he would look like today. Turns out it was pretty definite and dead on. That's what got John List captured. It's amazing how horrors of reality that can inspire such great thrillers. And The Stepfather is no exception. Now, what's this movie about? Well, I don't know if I can explain it in so many words. It's like one of those you got to see to believe. I mean, the beginning pretty much sets up the kind of guy the stepfather is, and the scene where he walks down the stairs and you see, I don't want to tell you what you see in case you haven't seen the movie, but I gotta say, I could imagine seeing this in theaters for the first time, and the audience's eyes probably bugged up and their mouths opened up wide, like, you know what I mean. And I gotta say, Terry O'Quinn is the stepfather. Now, before this film came around, he was a character actor. He was just that familiar face that just kept popping up in movies everywhere. But the stepfather was like his first starring role, and boy, he did not disappoint. A lot of other actors did not want to, who read for the role, did not want to play this role because they didn't like the character. But Terry O'Quinn was not afraid, and boy, he nipped this in the bud, because he's that type of actor who he can play friendly and you instantly buy it. But he knows when to switch dials when it's time to act crazy and menacing, and he does it so effortlessly. Man, Terry O'Quinn is that good. This was his best-known role besides John Locke on the film Lost. But Terry O'Quinn's good, but he doesn't overshadow the other performances like Shelley Hack as Susan, the woman he's married to, who loves Jerry and doesn't want to see the red flags. You understand why she doesn't want to see it. You don't hate her for not seeing it. Jill Schoelen as the daughter is good. She sees the red flags almost instantly that something's not quite right with Jerry. Although she puts up a friendly demeanor with Jerry, but I mean, she sees that something's not quite right with him, and she does it pretty well. Stephen Shellen is also good as Jerry's former brother-in-law Jim, who is hot on his trail. I really like how this movie does play with expectations. You know, you think the movie's going to go one way, but it goes a completely different way. And I like the way it's not quite a slasher film. It's more in vein with Hitchcock. I mean, Hitchcock never really showed much blood. I mean, he just it dials it back like Hitchcock would have. And you probably know there were sequels made. But the way this movie ended, I was surprised that there was a sequel. It didn't leave much open for a sequel, but a sequel was written up. And and although I hear the movie is I didn't see the movie, but I hear the movie is very different from this film. It doesn't try to be a copycat. It amped up the gore, and Terry O'Quinn did not like that. And I hear he refused to come back for reshoots. There was a third Stepfather film, but Terry O'Quinn said, "I'm out." Who could blame him? And then there was a remake starring Dylan Walsh, which I did see, and that was kind of okay. But and Dylan Walsh is a good actor, don't get me wrong, but he was nowhere near as intimidating as Terry O'Quinn. He didn't keep you on your edge of your seat the way Terry O'Quinn did. So I give The Stepfather a 9 out of 10. Bye-bye.